Hello, everybody. Welcome to another session of Excel. Today we are working on Excel exercise number 10 in your handout, and we are working with cash flows. And we are going to see how to appraise different cash flows of different projects. So let's go right away to entering our data. We have been told to save our file as cash flow. I've already done that. And I've already gone ahead to enter my data into the worksheet so that we can save time. If you have not yet entered your data, just pause the video, put in your data, and then we can start together and complete this exercise. So the first thing we're told to do is to appraise the project, which has cash inflows and outflows over a period of 7 years. And we are supposed to appraise using net present value and internal rate of return, NPV and IRR. So let's go ahead and put in that information too. So we are doing part A, appraise a 25% discount factor using NPV and IRR. So we are going to type here the discount factor. We're just going to put in the different information that we've been given. Let's just call it the rate. So we've been told that the rate is 25%. Okay, and we've been told to calculate NPV and IRR. Okay, now to calculate NPV or IRR, first thing we need to do is to get the net cash flows, because right now we only have the cash inflows and the cash outflows. So we want to know what is the net cash flow. So I'll just call this net cash. And to get the net cash flow, we are going to start with our equal sign. We get what is coming in. This could be the revenue. So at the time we are starting the project, we do not have any revenue, minus what is going out. This could be operational costs, so the costs of investing in this project. And we are going to press enter, and we use the fill handle to drag this down. I've just double clicked and it has gone all the way down. So it is these net cash flows that we are going to use, or the amount of money we are getting. And even as we do this, it's important for us to remember at the time we are starting the project, we are not receiving anything. And the value of the money today is worth the value of the money today. So we only use NPV for any of the money we expect to get in the years that follow. And then afterwards, we add the net cash after. So let's go ahead and first calculate the NPV, the net present value of this project. So we start with the equal sign and we type NPV and open your bracket. And it shows us at the bottom the things we are supposed to work with. The first thing we deal with is the rate. So we are going to go up and click on the rate. And we put a comma, meaning we are done with the rate. Next, we are supposed to put our values. We are going to go and select the values from year 1. Make sure you exclude the values of this current year. You highlight them all or select them all, and you use a bracket to close the net present value. And then you go ahead and put plus, and then you click on the amount of money you borrowed today. You click on that. Why did we not include it inside the NPV bracket? Is because the net present value of the money today is equal to the money today. So that is why. So given that we finished our formula, we are going to click on the enter button. And you will notice that mine has come up as a percentage. Why? I had already typed a percentage up at the top in the column. So the computer thinks that NPV is also showing in percentage, but NPV is to show as the value of money. So whatever currency you are using should also be reflected here. So I'm going to go to the home menu and I am going to change this from percentage, and I could give it a currency or a number. Let me give it just a number because the question does not show us the different currencies. Let me just put a comma and reduce the decimal places. So that is the amount of that is the value of the project today. Even though we are getting all these amounts of cash in the years that follow, today the net present value of this project is 26,154. Now the general rule is, if you have a net present value of 0 and above, then you can say that this project is worth embarking upon. Let's go ahead and also calculate the IRR, internal rate of return. Now, with the internal rate of return, we are going to look at all the cash flows excluding the rate on the market. We want to find out what is the rate, and for IRR, we get this as a percentage. So let's go ahead and do that. We start with the equal sign and we type IRR and we open our bracket. And we are going to select all the values, including the value of the money today. And we are going to close the bracket. And we are going to enter. And you notice that this comes up as a percentage. And also with IRR, the general rule is, if the project is giving you a rate of return that is higher than the market rate of return, then that project is worth embarking upon. Now, at the bottom of our worksheet, we've been told to include decision criteria in our appraisal model. So we have calculated NPV and IRR, but we are going to go ahead and set up a decision model. What is our decision? Okay, and we could choose either or. Let us use NPV, although you could also use IRR, and we are going to use the if function. We shall start by saying is equal to if, and we say if the value in this cell is greater than or equal to 0. What value do we want if it is true? If NPV is greater than 0, we are going to accept this project. So I use double quotation marks and I type the word accept and I close the quotation marks. Remember, we said we use those quotation marks to tell the computer that this is a word that has to be put in that cell. And we put a comma, and the final part is to put the value if false. So if NPV is not greater than or equal to 0, we want to reject this. We want to reject this project. And we are going to close our bracket. We have used the if function and we are going to press the enter button. So there is our decision. We accept or we reject. So in this case, it's telling us that we accept. I'm going to just make this bold. And that's it for part A. Okay, we move on to part B. What is your decision if the discount factor changes to 30%? So we are going to click on another cell and we put 30%. And we are also going to do the same. We are going to calculate NPV for the same project. So this again is going to be equal to NPV. And we open our bracket. NPV, the rate is going to be 30%. And we put a comma. The values are going to be anything that comes in after this year has passed. We close our bracket plus the current value and we enter. We also need to change this to be a value and not a percentage. So I'm going to click on the cell which I would like to get a copy of the formatting. I go to the Home tab and click on Format Painter once. And then I come and click on the cell which I would like to change to have the same formatting. So I click and the text has been changed to the same format as this one. Now notice that the net present value is in negative. So next we are going to calculate IRR. For IRR, we select all the values and we close our brackets and we enter. And it shows up as 27%. So do we accept or do we reject? We are going to copy this formula. I click on the cell which has the formula. Control C to copy the formula. And I click right below and I press Control V. And it tells us that we have to reject this project. Why? The internal rate of return is lower than the cost of capital, which is outside, and also the NPV is less than 0. Part C tells us copy the information in A above to another worksheet. We are going to make a copy of this worksheet. Don't forget to click the option Create Copy. So we've been told if an NPV of 122 is required based on a 25% discount factor, what price should be charged? So this is the price we are dealing with over here. And this is the NPV that we want as 122,000. So I click in that cell of NPV. I go to Data, click on What If Analysis and choose the option Goal Seek. And it shows me the goal, which is that cell which I selected. Click where you have to which value, and we are going to type here 122,000. By changing which cell, we are going to click in the rate and we click OK. And Goal Seek has calculated for us the rate and it shows up as 19%. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And I will resize this cell so that I can see the value. And this is exercise 10. I hope you were able to follow. See you in the next video.